You ever have one of those moments where the ground just drops out from under you? Your whole world tilts on its axis and nothing makes sense anymore? That was me, 3 weeks before my wedding. I thought I knew the woman I was about to marry. Turns out, I was living in a fantasy. Let me back up a bit. I met Michelle at a friend's barbecue about 5 years ago. She was beautiful, intelligent, and funny. Everything I'd ever wanted. We clicked instantly. Fast forward through romantic dates, cozy nights in, and a whirlwind romance. We were engaged within a year. I was 28, she was 27, and we were both crazy in love, or so I thought. We moved in together, adopted a rescue dog named Charlie, and started planning our future. Everything felt perfect, like we were living a real-life fairy tale. Little did I know a storm was brewing. Looking back, there were signs, subtle hints that something wasn't quite right. Michelle started working late more often. Her phone would constantly buzz with messages she'd quickly dismiss, and she became increasingly distant. When I brought it up, she'd brush it off, blaming work stress or her hormones. I wanted to believe her, but the doubts had already been planted. One evening, I stumbled upon a text conversation on her laptop that chilled me to the bone. It was from a number saved as Jessica, and the messages were explicit, talking about a wild night they'd shared with another man. My heart sank to my stomach. I could hardly breathe, the weight of the revelation pressing down on me like a ton of bricks. I felt sick to my stomach. Nausea churned within me, a storm of emotions threatening to spill over. My mind raced, trying to make sense of the chaos that had just unfolded. It couldn't be true, could it? My thoughts were a whirlwind of disbelief and denial. How could something like this happen? How could the person I trusted most in the world betray me so deeply? What the hell did I miss? I confronted Michelle, showing her the messages. The damning evidence was right there, glaring at us from the screen. Each word felt like a dagger, cutting deeper into the fabric of our relationship. Her face went white as a sheet. The color drained from her cheeks, leaving her looking like a ghost. She tried to deny it at first. Her words were a jumbled mess, a desperate attempt to weave a web of lies. But the truth was undeniable, staring us both in the face. The messages were explicit, leaving no room for doubt. Each line was a testament to the betrayal, a stark reminder of the trust that had been shattered. She finally broke down, confessing that she'd had a threesome at her bachelorette party a few weeks ago. Her tears flowed freely, each one a symbol of her regret and remorse. She admitted it was a drunken mistake, a moment of weakness that she wished she could take back. Right before we were supposed to get married, really. She swore it meant nothing, that it was a drunken mistake she regretted. Her voice was filled with desperation, pleading for forgiveness. I couldn't believe a damn word she said. As she was talking, I was just shaking my head. Our relationship was over. The trust we had built over the years was shattered, lying in pieces at our feet. The woman I thought I knew, the woman I was about to pledge my life to, had betrayed me in the worst way possible. The realization hit me like a tidal wave, leaving me drowning in a sea of heartbreak and despair. The next few hours were a blur of anger, tears, and accusations. I couldn't believe that she could do something like this right before our wedding. She begged for forgiveness, promising it would never happen again. But how could I ever trust her again? I felt like a fool. All those years, all those memories, all those promises felt like lies. The foundation of our relationship, built on trust and honesty, had been shattered into a million pieces. Picking up the pieces. I moved out that night, taking only a suitcase and my broken heart. The next few days were a haze. I told our families and friends about what happened. The outpouring of support was overwhelming, but it did little to ease the pain. The wedding was canceled, of course. Explaining it all to everyone was excruciating, but I knew I couldn't go through with it. The life we'd built together, the future we'd planned, evaporated like a mirage. I was left with nothing but the bitter taste of betrayal and the crushing weight of heartbreak. The aftermath. It's been a year since it all went down. A year filled with ups and downs, moments of clarity, and moments of confusion. Time has a way of moving forward, even when we feel stuck in the past. The pain isn't as raw, but the scars remain. These scars are a testament to what I've been through, a reminder of the battles fought and the strength it took to survive. I'm seeing a therapist, trying to make sense of it all. Each session peels back another layer, revealing truths I had buried deep within. Writing in my journal helps me process these revelations, giving me a sense of control over my healing journey. It's a slow and painful process, but I'm determined to heal. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Healing isn't linear, it's a winding path with setbacks and breakthroughs. I'm slowly starting to trust again, to open myself up to the possibility of finding love again. Trust is fragile, and rebuilding it takes time and patience. Vulnerability is scary, but it's also necessary for growth. Michelle and I haven't spoken since that night. Sometimes distance is the only way to find clarity. I heard she moved out of state, trying to start over. Starting over is never easy, but sometimes it's the only option. It's a chance to rebuild, to create a new life from the ashes of the old one. Part of me still hurts, still wonders why. The memories linger, haunting me in quiet moments. But I'm learning to let go, to accept that some questions will never have answers. But I know I made the right decision. Standing alone, I feel a newfound sense of self-assurance. I'm stronger than I ever realized, capable of facing whatever comes next. I deserve someone who will love me unconditionally, who will honor our commitment with honesty and respect. Love should be a sanctuary, a place of safety and trust. I'm hopeful that one day I'll find that kind of love again. Healing and moving on. Life goes on, even after the most devastating experiences. I'm focusing on myself, on my career, on rebuilding my life. I'm learning to forgive, not for her, but for me. Holding on to anger and resentment will only hurt me in the long run. I know I'm not alone in this. Infidelity is, unfortunately, a common experience, but I refuse to let it define me. I'm a good man, deserving of love and happiness. And I believe that one day, I will find it again. Reflections on trust and forgiveness. Looking back, I realize that trust is a fragile thing. It's like a delicate glass sculpture, beautiful and intricate, yet so easily shattered. It takes years to build and seconds to break. The foundation of trust is laid brick by brick through countless acts of honesty, integrity, and reliability. And once it's gone, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. The cracks remain, no matter how much effort you put into mending them. I've learned that forgiveness is a process, not a destination. It's a journey that requires continuous effort and a willingness to let go of the past. It takes time, patience, and a whole lot of self-compassion. You have to be gentle with yourself, understanding that healing doesn't happen overnight. This experience, as painful as it was, has taught me the importance of self-love, self-respect, and setting boundaries. I've come to realize that my well-being is paramount. I'm no longer afraid to walk away from something that doesn't serve me, from someone who doesn't value me. I've learned to prioritize my own happiness and mental health. I'm stronger, wiser, and stronger than I ever thought possible. Each challenge has been a lesson, each setback a stepping stone to greater strength. And I'm ready for whatever the future holds. With a heart that's been mended and a spirit that's been fortified, I face the unknown with courage and optimism. The future is a canvas, and I am the artist, ready to paint it with the colors of my experiences, lessons, and newfound wisdom. Trust and forgiveness have reshaped me, molding me into someone who is not only capable of love, but also deserving of it.